Hi guys, Andy here, and welcome to blowing out a candle. This is actually a very good toy game. I played it before, but as you know, sometimes things don't really record, which is pretty much my luck lately. I got behind the wheel and watched as my vision compounded, divisions upon divisions nestling together, side by side. This wasn't new, not really, but it still scared me, just a little, and I knew better than to try to drive like that. So I pocketed my keys and started a walk. And it was fine. There were no dirt muffled footsteps tailing me in the dark, no glowing eyes blinking at me. From between the shadow trunks lining the woods, I was stumbling and seeing quintuple at the very least. But I was stumbling away from the tree line. No sense getting lost in the woods. You stare too long at your reflection in the mirror and your eyes unfocus. The image in front of you splits and doubles, four eyes spread across your face, blinking in unison. Imagine that in reverse. It's like having too many eyes all of a sudden, each of them staring at the same thing. You're not seeing them, you're seeing through them. You're looking at the same images copied and transposed endlessly, and they all lurch when you move your head. You've got to figure out which view is real. And it was fine. Okay, no wait, I already read that. No sense getting lost in the woods. Little blinking eyes do show up in the dark once in a while. Some close to the ground, some hovering up by the low slung branches. Raccoons and owls, I think. Little swooping bats. You know that weird glow? That green-orange tint that covers the whole eye in the dark? It's weird, but it's comforting. Less like being hunted, more like not being alone. Hi, airplane. Really flying low today? Kinda flying low, like really low today. Little blinking eyes do show up in the dark once in a while. Oh wait, I just read that one. But who knows? I've never asked, and I've never really stuck around to check. The other night, I figured I'd just walk somewhere and wait until I was good to drive again. But everything was closed. I didn't want to have to bum a ride or flag a taxi and leave my car behind, you know? The diner is way out there. But it's a nice place, well lit, some small tables with stark white napkins and colorful wicker chairs. Lots of booths, all done up in that dull teal upholstery every diner's always got. Vinyl starting to crackle where people have been sitting for the last 20 or 30 years. The lady who owns it is always around. Older lady, but still spry. No one makes a pot roast like Jolene, and there's a lot of pot roast left in her. She runs a dry place, no alcohol served. I don't really like that stuff anyway. The sign by the cash register reads, "Thank you," in bold neon lettering. They're welcome. Come again, implores the smaller sign beneath it. I always do. Dusk. Finally, diner. Well, look who it is. Been a while, hasn't it? I guess it has, huh? Doesn't feel like it too long. I'll say, you been eating well without us? Not really here and there. I've been eating not too well. Seems so. It's already awful late. Uh. Seems so. It's already awful late to be eating dinner. That's what they say, at least. Not that I'm complaining. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you too. Well, let's get you fed. What are you having? Today's soup and a Greek salad. Lasagna sounds good. Always the pot roast, Joe. Let's go with the pot roast. Despite my love for lasagna, we are going to go with the awful choice of pot roast. Thought you might say that. You might just be my biggest fan. I could do with some comfort food. I could do with food. Coming right up. Thanks, Joe. I want to click on that one. Coming right up. You know, I really do hope you've been well. If you ever need anything, I'll be here. Thanks, Joe. Midnight. Quadron Bridge. I woke up on the ground. It wasn't the diner. My food was just fine, and that place has never made me sick. They wouldn't let that slide. Wouldn't do that to me. This just happens sometimes. Like I said, my vision can be a little off. I've been getting the hang of it, but sometimes I just drop and take a little rest now and then. Don't usually forget bits of where I've been or what I've been doing, though. But that can happen to anyone, can it? Sometimes you wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think it helps to talk about it. It helps fill in the blanks. And as you can see, I have the best computer. So, I woke up face down on the ground, damp wood under my face, grit, gravel, and dirt smeared across my palms. I had two eyes again, at least, and I remember realizing I was on the bridge. You come to it after you get off Route 38. There's a trail out the shoulder you can enter if you hop the little yellow gate. It's all rusted anyway. It rains there, 24/7. For a while, the water just ran off and pooled in the ditches on either side of the road. But after a while, it started to flow. It was always there, with nowhere to go. Eventually, it found its path. So did everyone else. The town followed where it was all trickling into and dug a huge hole. Now we have a lake. It'll rise up over that bridge someday, but for now, it's just fine. Maybe half a mile into the trail, and you get to the tree with the busted trunk. It's split up the middle like it ripped a seam, hit by lightning. You can still see the bolt in the trunk, trapped in there and sparking away. Best not to get too close, but it's quite a sight at night. I remember staring at it for a while, watching the lightning arc in that open ribcage, tenfold and honeycombed. I stared for so long that the light's negative kept strobing in my eyes even after I left. I kept walking like that for a while, just wandering. It can't have taken much time to get to the bridge. I remember closing my eyes. I remember the hollow sound of the boards beneath my feet. And then it was lights out. When I came to, the place was soundless, like a vacuum. No mosquitoes whining, no people singing their night song, no owls, no raccoons, no bats, no little gleaming eyes, no one winking in the dark. Lights hung overhead, though. A string of them hung between two poles on either end of the bridge. No moths swarmed around the little bulbs. Their light was brilliant and unobscured. I was the only moth out that night. I got back up after a while. Probably should have started back the way I came, but I had already gone halfway across the bridge. Why not cross? My mind felt clear. It seemed like there was another light to chase if I could just press on a little further. Lake Stone Willow. A ways past the lake shore, there's a willow tree. It's all cold, gray stone, but trunk murmurs and braids itself into a thick column, and the branches still bend in the wind. I stopped there. I must have wanted to rest again. It just felt inviting. That tangle of roots and the stillness of the branches after a breeze had rolled by. The roots were warm. I wanted to be held. When I crawled from the hollow at the base of the trunk, the sky was starting to lighten. It was less heavy and my belly was still full, so I kept on hiking. Thanks, Joe. There was a hill, a small one, but it took me a good while to climb. The grass kept slithering under my feet, not green, but a dull teal like diner upholstery, and I grabbed onto it when I almost slipped and fell in the gathering dew. I still have dirt under my nails. I made it, though. The overlook. The sun was rising. It glinted off the glass scope, and my hands sunk right into my pockets, hunting quarters as I scrambled up the crest of the hill. I had one left, change from the diner, I bet. Thanks, Joe. I held it like it was worth a million bucks, slid it into the viewfinder, and settled in. It was more like a kaleidoscope than a telescope. Those stains are all glass and marble mingling with glinting metal. They're prismatic. They capture light inside of them and never splits them open, just beams it back into your eyes and condenses it somewhere in your mind. I stood there, hunched over the viewfinder, watching the sun bleed its light into a violet sky. I stood until I had to sit down, still breathing hard from the climb, hands wet and grubby. Even then, I kept staring at the sunrise. And I realized what day it was. The sun flickered and stars erupted into the sky again, just for a moment, an eclipse in an instant, like blowing out a candle. My vision doubled, tripled, unfocused, and I watched the sun return tenfold and honeycombed. Not with a bang, they say. But I didn't hear a whimper. The end of the road is celebrating its birthday. I kind of like that. That was very cute. As I don't think I wanted to experience the end of the road. That was actually really cute. But yeah, I enjoyed this twine game. It's definitely one of my favorites. I'll have to go rate it really high. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little twine episode video. I have no idea what to call it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, consider supporting me on Patreon. There are a few cool rewards you can get, like movie night, having actual bracelet sent to you, little embroidered floss one. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you all in the next video. Have fun, be safe, and enjoy yourself. Bye for now.